Nice, 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 nice. And he's healing 4 people right now. He's doing a good job. He's doing his job. Doing his job. He needs to be up right now. He sees the Junkrat, especially. He needs to be up by default. He doesn't play up, which is why he dies so much. But he sees the Junkrat, so he especially needs to be up. Imagine if that Reinhardt had hit him. I mean, he was on the ground. He could have, but he didn't. But there's so much danger from being on the ground. So much danger you could avoid by being elevated. Elevated. Get up. There you go. There we go. There you go. Look at that. See, he's already up, which means he doesn't have to waste time trying to dodge that Junkrat ult. He's already dodged it. He's pre-dodged it by already being at an elevated position, which means he doesn't have to use a speed boost. He doesn't have to waste it. He can continue healing. He doesn't have to worry. And he's on the ground. And heal. Yeah, nice. That was really close. That was he didn't need to be on the ground, but he got lucky. He got lucky. Yeah, he didn't die because he didn't live because he was skilled at that point. He killed because he got lucky. His team backed him up. He should have died. That was really risky.
He shifts and runs into the center. Get the fuck out of there. He's right towards the marker now. He's backing. He's still inside the building.
Yep, he's doing good right now. Stand by his team, healing. Stand by his team and healing. He should be elevated right now though. So there you go. It's like you heard me. But he should be elevated in the line of sight of his team. Like that thing he's bouncing on right now, that he can bounce on that indefinitely. He should be up. That's a really good spot actually. Look at that. That's elevation. That's the power of elevation right there. That was nice. Nexium's good. He's really good. Look at that. Like this right here, he can just constantly bounce up on this. Like yeah. He's a boss. Like he doesn't need to be on the ground at all. Like you'll find that so many areas and so many levels, you just don't need to cuss the ground at all. Like it's completely unnecessary. Okay, he's nice. He flanked them. That's the only reason he should. Okay. He needs to not. Why did he get? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He jumped down. He really wanted to contest the point, but now he's dead. Now he's contesting. Now he's not contesting anything. He could have done that more safely. Like look how much time. Like in that time, he could have been doing so much. He could have ulted in that time. Actually, he could have survived long enough to get his ult and then just killed everyone on the point with his ult, right? Or like let his team let a charge with his team to kill everyone on the ult on the point. But instead, he chose to die and sacrifice himself for that point, and he lost it. Yeah, don't do that. Don't sacrifice yourself. He didn't need to do that. He should have been more patient. He had time. He had time for them to take the point. Maybe if it was the last second, maybe jump down there for a little bit of time to contest it. But oh, he was on the ground and he wasn't paying attention. You have very limited field of view when you're on the ground. If he was at an elevated position, he might have actually saw that. You can see more when you're elevated. Get off the ground. So yeah. So back to the point. If he was, gather my thoughts here. He had time, and maybe what he did would have been appropriate if it was the last second and they're gonna get that point. But then I'd still say don't die for it, because then they're gonna push to the next point, and you need to be alive to stop the push. Maybe on the last point, if it's the last second, that's when you jump down there and not sacrifice yourself, but then try to be like a badger or a what's that? What's the thing that fights a snake? A mongoose. The mongoose just jumps in and out, right? But that's on the last point. Otherwise, it's not really that desperate a situation. Don't sacrifice yourself. And even in the last point, in the most desperate situation, don't sacrifice yourself. Just get in, get out. Get in, get out. That should be your goal. Don't even put down damage. If it's that dire, you don't have time to put down damage. Get in and get out. Or once you get out, put down damage from a safe space, and then get in specifically to reset the point, and then get out and put down damage from a safe space, and then get in. That's how you play. That's how you play it. But in that situation, he didn't need to die.
Easy healing.
He had time. He needed to be more patient. That's what he needs to do. Oh, and he's on the ground. He is on the ground. And they have a Pharah. He definitely needs to not be on the ground when they have a Pharah. Mm. Mm. Mm-mm. Mm.
It's like I'm listening to you right now? What do you mean? I always listen to you.
We could probably use a bastion, maybe.
Hmm. Now his teammate. Oh, he has his ult. He needs to. He needs to ult. He needs to ult. He needs to ult. He. Why did I say he needs to ult there? Because his Reinhardt went in and he had 2 people within his ult range. That's enough. That's enough to make a play. That's enough to do a lot of damage. And his Reinhardt died instead, and he could have prevented that. That could have been. He could have pushed them back with that Reinhardt by ulting his Reinhardt and giving his Reinhardt pretty much free reign to do whatever he wanted for 5 seconds. But he held on to it for some reason.
Good.
Hmm. Now is he gonna ult? Yeah. He should have ulted way earlier, but you know.
I don't want to stand in front of this Reinhardt.
And he's gonna die. Pop, pop, pop. Yippers. He is on the ground. That was the worst. That wasn't a good way to escape. He needed to use his wall jumping skills to get some elevation. He would have been out. Elevation would have got him out of melee range of Reinhardt. He might have other things to deal with, but he wouldn't have died in that way exactly. And he should have been elevated from the first, from the get go. Yeah, yeah, you can go there. That is an amazing spot. This spot is the spot. This is the spot to be at. Like, you get perfect line of sight to your team. Man, it's so hard to see you as a, let alone hit you with anything. You have, like, he can just back up. Bam, line of sight. This is the spot that every Lucio needs to be using. This spot is amazing. For so many reasons, and you can just shoot safely. Like, there's another point to make. The less time you're using trying to run away and survive, the more time you are using to actually put down damage. So if you're not, running away and speed boosting and I'm gonna die, you can constantly put down damage. They can just keep shooting. You're gonna put down a lot more damage that way. Like, he can just put down damage. Like, you do more damage by being safe. Look at that. That Junkrat cannot even. If he was on the ground, that Junkrat could have killed him, but he wasn't on the ground, so he lived. Now this is gonna be funny. I remember watching this live. She's gonna ult him because he's annoying. Look at this. He took no damage. He wasted her ult. When you're at a position like that, when you're at an elevated position like that, the other team has to make a choice. Did they kill you or do you kill your team? Did they use your ult on you, or do they focus their energy on you, or do they focus their energy on your team? And she chose you, and that's a great decision because you lived and she did nothing with that ult. That's the decision you want them to be making. You want to put them between a rock and a hard place. You want them to be making those hard decisions. And you're not going to be making those. The team's not going to be making those hard decisions if you're on the ground with your team. Then they're just like, oh, everyone's there. I just ult there. But if you're up here, the very valuable Lucio, and your team's down here, they're like, okay, who do I ult? Who do I ult? Lucio is really valuable, but I want to kill a bunch of people. Who do I ult? You want them to be making those tough decisions, because if the more decisions they make, the more chances they have of making the wrong decision. You don't want to give them the obvious decisions. So that spot is amazing. That's great play on Nexium's part, finding that spot and taking advantage of it. And yeah, let's continue to do that. And he found another good spot. This is also another good spot. Also another good spot. He can heal his team from here. Now he chose to drop to the ground right now, and he chose to do that specifically to get more damage. But he got 25 damage on people. Like, he only did his boop. That was 25 extra damage. So that's all he accomplished by going to the ground and putting himself at more risk by being on the ground level. So I wouldn't say it's worth it. You only want to be on the ground for specific reasons, and those reasons have to be very important. Like, those have to be something you can't accomplish by just being elevated. And I'd say that him going down to boop was actually, like, he'd still get as much damage by just firing from this elevated position.
Yes. Well, for me.
So stay off the ground. Stay in the elevated position. Like, you're safe, so you actually do more damage. The safer you are, the more damage you do. Think about it that way. The safer you are, the more damage you do, because you're worrying less about surviving and running away and more about, hey, I don't have nothing to do but shoot. Alright guys, this has been Professor Ganymede with some Overwatch support, commentary, and analysis. Next time provided the gameplay. If you enjoyed the video, please support us on our Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. Links below. Like, comment, subscribe. I read all the comments, and thanks for watching.